All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week number 106. My name is Mr. McLogan, and this is Open Live Q&A, where I am here to take your guys' questions, as well as let you guys know of some awesome updates and some announcements for you guys that I have coming up on my channel. So first of all, actually a couple of things, three things. I forgot to mention this last live stream, and I really wanted to make sure that everybody is aware. So therefore, those of you that are interested, you guys can definitely go ahead and take place. And I think I forgot, but either way, you guys can go ahead and find it. So first of all, this week on Wednesday at 4 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I am holding my Algebra 2 free, just kind of private live stream. So I did that last week for pre-calculus, and we basically just, kind of had like a session where I just answer questions and kind of like what I'm doing with you guys. But it's obviously, it's a little bit more intimate because you guys can obviously ask me questions right on. It's limited to only 30 students can be able to get on. And so therefore, we're not trying to go through all these different questions like this open live Q&A where everything's, all over the place. So if you're taking Algebra 2 and that is something that you would be interested in, I am planning on doing this monthly. So next week or this week will be my first installment for that. And I do apologize, guys. I would like to open this up to more classes, but at this point, I'm just trying to kind of test the water, see how this is going to work. And so far, I really enjoyed it last week. Also last week, I had a private tutoring session with a student that won last week's giveaway. So what I did is I just had a kind of contest at the end of last week's live stream where I basically just I took a student that commented on my previous live stream, and therefore they won. And it was awesome because her choices, she had there was only 4 comments that had on that live stream. So pretty good chances if you're asking me. So the only requirements for is on the previous live stream, you have to go there. Don't go into the live chat. I see all you guys in the live chat, and I'll get to some of you in just a second, but do not type anything in the live chat. But in last week's chat, or I'm sorry, in last week's video, live stream, not the video, but in the live stream, then you can go ahead and type in #mathhelp. And what I'll do is at the end of this live stream, I will select somebody from there for a free tutoring time. So it's basically just 30 minutes with me to just kind of answer any questions or do anything I can do to kind of help you up with your math or with your studies or whatever may be the case. So it was really cool to kind of get back to that because obviously being outside of the classroom this year, I don't get as many the interactions to be able to kind of, just connect and help students with where they're at, which I feel is kind of more my like natural, where I kind of feel like the most natural being is like teaching in front of people, like, making videos. The making videos that I have now, it's very difficult because I've been doing a lot of testing, if you guys haven't noticed on my channel, because a lot of stuff doesn't feel natural as I'm explaining. And I've really been trying to find that natural kind of teaching voice that I have inside the classroom, which, that is very well documented on YouTube. So that is one thing that I'm trying to do. And I think getting it back in front of some students with these live streams and with the private tutoring, I think is going to help me out. And then the third thing that I wanted to mention to you guys was the Discord server was down last week. And I think I might've mentioned it, but if you guys did not go over to the Discord server, then I would highly, highly, highly recommend that you go ahead and check it out. It's got a brand new refresh, and I think it looks absolutely amazing. So that is it's something where it's much more well organized, where you guys can actually get into get your questions, you answer. There's a lot more tutors. And again, I always recommend guys going there and, asking questions, but then also helping other students with other courses. There is many more community channels for you guys to kind of interact with other students and other tutors. And then also some more, channels for resources, for notes, for anything else that's really related around education and math to really kind of help you guys out. So I really am looking into growing that community just for another place in addition to YouTube for you guys to kind of interact and also to get some help. I get so many questions all the time of how to do this, how to do that. And I think that while I'm always happy to answer those questions and do the best that I can, I'm obviously not always the best or always my answers is going to be the best answer for everybody's situation. So always hearing from other people and getting different perspectives is, I think, very important. And that's one of the things that the Discord does, is it allows other people from different backgrounds and for different experiences to all kind of come together and help each other out. And that's the beauty of that. So, and yes, definitely brought to you by, oh, I forgot even to mention that. There we go. For I think. So yes, very, very much brought to you by Mo, who did all of the work. I am not a Discord aficionado. So congratulations, Mo. You did an amazing job. Thank you so much. Cannot recommend you enough for anybody that has a server or needs some help, for sure. And Chris Weiss, thank you so much for helping me in school, college trigonometry, and you are much helpful. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to help you out. And hi, Araf. Good to have you on. And Mo, thank you so much for jumping back on too, because I was looking back for you. You mentioned your last week, and I was like, oh man, I didn't recognize you from last week, but now I got everything in line. Run, as far as the Discord server, it is the Discord server is basically all just math related. Obviously, there's other students, that are taking classes. And so right now we don't have anything built out for the different curriculums. I kind of want to stay focused with the kind of math, but I'm definitely sure if there's somebody that, question or whatever else that might be something related to that be, but it's not a general study server. It's basically just related for the math. Mark has asked a question, my favorite level of math. Well, I would probably definitely say that two of them. I really enjoy actually pre-calculus because that's what I've taught probably the most. And I also really, really loved geometry. Those are kind of like my two, I'd probably say the two things. And it was really good when I stepped away from the classroom last year that I was able to teach pre-calculus, algebra 2, and geometry all within like the same year. And obviously that was the first year like with COVID and it was like crazy. And I also taught geometry and geometry honors and it was a very, very busy year. But anyways, it was still really fun to kind of teach the geometry. I really kind of miss geometry and I'm actually looking forward to making some videos. I just really haven't had the time to get into there yet. But I would definitely say I really love I really like trig and actually, oh man, it's really tough. Yeah, I would definitely say the pre-calculus over calculus. I really enjoy teaching calculus, but I don't know. There's something about the pre-calculus where I think what I liked about pre-calculus more than anything else is that a lot of students weren't prepared for the upper level mathematics. And even though I kind of took a lot of heat, I think, from students and parents of, their grade and their understanding and everything else, I think it was really rewarding seeing students at the end of the year, seeing all the progress that they made. Whereas once they kind of got to me in calculus, when I was teaching calculus, they've already kind of like made that hurdle and most students could basically survive on their own, right? It was just basically getting them the content, getting them to do what they needed to do. But pre-calculus was kind of like this hurdle, this hump that we had to go through. So that's where I kind of, as far as curriculum goes, I would definitely probably say the calculus, pre-calculus, and geometry, but the pre-calculus had a little something special for it. And yeah, T, I would say the same thing, kind of like the 11th grade. I think 11th grade, sophomores and 11th grade are the best. Freshmen and seniors, those are always kind of tough. Christian, I see a lot of questions from there. For students transition, what was this other question for this? For students transitioning from an American to an Indian school system, do you have any idea for how to adjust? I know that I have never teaching or never been in the Indian school system. I would have no idea, unfortunately, but I would highly recommend, that would be a great question for anybody that possibly is in the Discord. I'm not sure if you're on the Discord server, but that's like perfect example of something where I'm not really an expert to be able to provide really some guidance or some advice for you. But hopefully there'd be somebody in the Discord server that actually might be able to lend a hand. And thank you so much, Christy, for the super chat. Why can't I not pin? What's going on? Huh. Oh, that's over here. Duh. Well, thank you so much, Christy, for the super chat. Why am I reading them over here? That's crazy. Idiot. Actually put those over there. All right. Chris says, how do you get motivated for school starting when you need an extra day of break, but can't have it because you worked every day? Yes, I totally get it. And actually it reminds me of, I was seeing all the snowstorms. And also I was actually in Discord. I was reading somebody was talking about like college life. And so I live in Florida now, so I don't have to deal with the winters. But when I was in school in college, I went to Western Michigan and we'd get a lot of like snow. And I still remember like Friday mornings, nobody would be on campus, but of course I would have a math class at like 8 a.m. And I remember like trucking through the snow, like in my feet, like up to like my knees, or half shins, mid shins, and just getting like getting that motivation to get out of your warm, cozy bed and to put on all your coats and, hat and everything to go and walk through the snow to go through an 8 a.m. math class. Took a lot of motivation, right? And I think one of the biggest things that I would definitely say, like my last video that I talked about with motivation, I think there's a lot of good tips, from on there. But yeah, you just really got to like, I think every day I would tell you one thing that's really helped me for the mornings is and because again, a lot of times I'll wake up in the morning and if I don't have something that's motivating me to get out of bed, I'll stay in the bed, right? And usually I wake up early, like around 4:30, and that's how I usually get my day started. Even sometimes doing math videos at 4:30, getting a cup of coffee and ready to go. But a lot of times, if I don't have anything planned, then I don't do it because I just don't see that motivation. So what I would recommend you do is maybe like the night before, or like really write down what is it you want to accomplish in the morning, or what do you want to accomplish the next day, and like. So therefore, when the next day when that happens, like you have something to rely on, that that you said you wanted to do or you're going to do. And I think that's a little fuel for motivation. So there's one little trick that can lend to you. But as far as like math goes and everything else, obviously in that video, I think I highlighted some definitely things from there. Very common question. I keep on getting this so many times. Do you think pre-calculus is harder than normal calculus? Yeah, I don't think it's harder. I think it's just the fact that most students, when they enter pre-calculus, are not prepared for upper level mathematics. And so they have to go through this transition of learning how to learn math, where you just can't be a good or a smart student and get by like in, Algebra 2, like you could. Whereas pre-calculus, you really kind of, you have to kind of learn how to study for a lot of students. You have to learn how to, learn from your mistakes and to prepare differently, to work on challenging problems. So I think there's a lot with pre-calculus that students just have to kind of learn. And once you get into calculus, and if you built up those skills, then you kind of say, oh, it's just the same. I'm just learning new content, right? I already know how to perform. I'm just learning new content. Charles still isn't here. Yeah, I haven't seen Charles in a while. Who do? Hey, Addie, good to have you on. Thank you so much. Well, you're very welcome on, and best of luck going to your school. I hope you have a great time back in there. It's so crazy just to think that some students have gone, and then I know some students are not going back yet, right? So it's crazy. It's all relative, guys. It's all relative to the school, the teacher, and everything like that. Well, obviously AP is going to be a college level, course for on there. So it's going to have a little bit different rigor. And then obviously you're going to have your test, that the assessment at the end, which is going to help. And I'd say the pacing is going to be different because obviously everybody takes the test at the same time. So definitely the pacing. And I would say a little bit more of the rigor is probably going to be pushed more for you on that than like a standard, just, calculus class. I've had situations where I can use tan for the right angle triangle, but when I want to use cosine, which can be used, it doesn't give me a proper answer. I would have to go ahead and submit a question. If you can go ahead and post a question into the Discord link, I would greatly appreciate it. Why does that go? Okay. Interesting question, Robert. What do you struggle with the most in math personally? It's not one of those questions I think you like often think about. But obviously, if any of you guys know my story, like I struggled with math and it didn't come easily to me. and I had to work really hard to earn my degree, and then also, kind of become, and earn my degree. And then, even as teaching, like to really kind of understand how to best position these, kind of for stuff for students. I think the most, what do you struggle with? Because I think let me start with maybe what I think I'm like the best at, or not the best at, but what I don't struggle with. And I think that is coming from a perspective of like empathy, of understanding where students come from when they do struggle with math or they're not understanding something, thinking of different ways, because I guess I can feel a lot of those different ways that students understand things, or when things don't make sense. I think, Robert, actually, I think sometimes what I'd say my biggest struggle is, um, so I understand when students struggle with math and they can't make those connections. And I think that a lot of times one of my natural gifts, I would probably say, is just my ability to like slow things down and like teach things step by step and not try to because I always remember like struggling as a math student where teachers would like go like just do all the math in their head and just write down step by step. And I always thought it was so frustrating, because I needed more from explaining what to do. And there's nothing worse than like understanding the problem, but then I didn't understand why they did one step, right? And it was never explained. It was just like assumed that you knew what you were doing. I would say the one thing that I struggle with a little bit would be kind of like to that same kind of point, would be kind of making like the larger connections, the larger pictures. And this gets a little bit more into like the abstract with the algebra. I think a lot of times I'd be so focused as a student of like learning steps and like how to do the process that I wasn't able to really kind of step back and see the connections with that. And I think that kind of limited me as a math student. And it wasn't really until I did more math and where I really started to see some of those, or when I had to teach it, where I had to really understand what I was doing and why things were connected, then things actually made more sense to me. But when I was a student, and still like when I struggled, like I just wanted to do the problem, right? I didn't really want to understand why I needed to do this problem or how to do the problem. I just wanted to do the problem, get the right answer, and move on. So I'd probably say my struggle would have been really kind of seeing like the bigger picture. And I'm not really sure if that's a great answer, but it kind of felt good going out from there. So anyways, just to kind of take a quick little break, I'll get to more of you guys' questions. I know I'm kind of getting a little caught in behind, but just a reminder, guys, I have a live stream above going on this week on Wednesday. You guys can definitely go ahead and check it out. If you're taking Algebra 2, it'll just be free, answer questions, help you guys out. Looking forward to having you guys on for those of you that are taking Algebra 2 this week. Also, guys, remember my last live stream, which was last week. Go ahead and go in that, go in the comments and type in hashtag mathhelp if you would like for me to draw your name for a free one-on-one tutoring session with me from on there. So giving that away, and I'm giving that away thanks to all of my YouTube members and that have really been supporting and lifting up my channel through helping me make better and better content. So thank you so much for your YouTube members, as well as the super chats and everything. Christy, thank you so much for that. But definitely, yeah, that's one of the things that one of the reasons why actually I initially started my super chat was to actually do more of those one-on-one tutorings. And I just wasn't able to have the time and be able to do it, obviously, from last year. So this year I was like, you know what, this is something I got to do. This is something that's going to give me those teaching roots. So if that's something you guys are interested in, go ahead and take a look at that. And then also, if you have not checked out the Discord link, it is completely fresh, new, updated, and looking awesome. Thanks again, Mo, for doing all that work. And you guys can definitely go check it out and get your math help on your way. Because I'm not going to get to every question, right? Every single week, guys, I submit questions. You guys can see them. They're pinned. And on this chat, you guys can submit your questions. I'll answer them every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. But if I don't get your question, or if I don't get your question, or you need help that's a little bit more immediate, then go ahead and check out the Discord server, which I just posted in on the link. And I'm actually going to pin that extra from there. Yes, thank you so much, Addie. All right, let's get on there. Miss McLogan is watching some TV right now. I can hear that. But she does sometimes pop in, so we got to watch out, because she'll go and throw that moderator card out there from there. Yes, Carson is absolutely amazing. You guys should definitely throw Carson some bones in the Discord server. There is a review channel where you can let Carson know how much he has helped you with your math. Because he has done an amazing job helping students and really kind of explain some math. So I would highly recommend helping, letting Carson know how much you've helped him out and stuff like that, because he's done an amazing job. I've taken a lot of classes post-calculus. Not so much more in applied math. It was much more in like pure math. So, linear algebra, graph theory, abstract algebra, and then a lot of like other like teaching math. So my degree was actually in mathematics for like education, but I had to go through all of those basically for a math major at my school, and then just kind of took the education route. Rona, it's really difficult to go through these. If you can go and submit them into that Google form that I have, again, pinned in the chat, that'd be really, really helpful for me to go and take a look at them. Guys, the same tips for Algebra 2 as anything else. I'd create cheat sheets and cover all of your tests and quizzes, put everything on those, and then study those cheat sheets. I'd also do as many practice problems as you possibly can before your tests. I would definitely also work on trying to do more difficult problems if you can. And then also, like I did for my last video last week, guys, when you get your test back or quiz back, review those answers, like study off of those. Like that is great material. That is feedback on how you guys were doing at that time. So those are, I'm sorry for those of you that do not get your test back. That was something I thought was really, really important to me as a teacher to always give to my students. And so I apologize for that, but I think you can definitely get around, get around that and still get some help, even if you have to stay with your teacher and get help. That was sometimes like if I didn't return something back, I would, I'd always say, hey, stay after school and let's go over it. Right. I don't know. Actually, when I was in high school, I took integrated math. So, but I took integrated math and then I took pre-calculus. So I'd probably say integrated math, probably more closely aligned to Algebra 2 and some geometry topics. And if I remember correctly, some statistics and probability. So you kind of get like those kind of three components. I'm in the United States. The more math I learned, the more motivated and more I enjoyed it. So that would basically be in there. So I think there's the more you do, the kind of more you get to see the beauty of everything of it. All right. Thank you, Caddy. It depends on the curriculum. I haven't taught a unit on statistics in my curriculum. Most of that is like held in Algebra 2 from on there. So I don't think I've seen much statistics in curriculum stuff. Going with the Mickey. I was like, ooh, do I know you? Look, have a nice day. I've been struggling trigonometry since the class is modular. So I always look all of your videos and it helps me. Keep it up. God bless. Well, thank you so much, Eva. Happy to be able to help you out. No, I don't do private. I don't do private tutoring. I don't have enough time for private tutoring, but I do. I am kind of, the part of my like YouTube memberships, which obviously, it's in my channel, or, everything else that you guys help supporting me as a channel is one thing I wanted to kind of give back. And that was kind of my one where it's a way for me to kind of connect again with you guys. So I don't offer the private tutoring sessions, but I do want to do kind of like things like this. I mean, yeah, everybody deals with procrastination. It's you got to be able to find what's going to motivate you. And like I said, I have that video talking about like how to get motivated for your math a couple weeks ago. I think, there's where I kind of talk about some motivation and procrastination specifically regarding math. And hey, Jellyfan. Well, all depends on the polynomial. So if you want to submit a question, I'll be more than happy to go for that. Yeah, of course. I think everybody has, you're always going to relate to people differently, right? I don't think there's nothing non-human about that. I wouldn't say, yeah, I'd say dislike. I mean, I never really had an issue with any of my coworkers, but like where I didn't like them, I would say I went wasn't maybe in favor, like they were all going to be my best friend. But yeah, I never had any issues. I'm a pretty level person, so I'm not a hot or cold kind of friendship person. Basically, kind of a little bit more even, like with everybody. So I never really had an issue with any of my coworkers. Well, thank you, Mary Jane. Happy to be able to help you out. Well, a good day to you, Jacob. Yes, I do have factor 3. Yeah, I mean, if you just search in my polynomial, that one doesn't look like it's, oh, that is factored by grouping. Yeah, I definitely have videos like that. And you can also submit it into the chat. I'm going to get to doing into some math questions here with you guys here really, really soon. All right, yeah, I think I saw Young. I think you got like 3 questions in there, so I got you coming up. Don't worry. Ask your parents. If not, I don't know. When I took math, it all depends on the math. Yeah, like our live stream, they were talking about like doing the log table. I'm like, I didn't have to do logs with tables. So I had one of these trusty calculators when I was in high school. So yeah, it all depends on what type of math you're kind of referring to. No, I'm not sure. That doesn't sound good. Now I got to go and check it out. Actually, I just paid for that. Uh-oh. That's not good. Okay. Well, I guess I'll know what I'll be doing after this on there. That's so weird. All right. Well, thank you so much, Addie, for letting me know. Actually, I just was on there like not too long ago. So, that's interesting. Well, you're very welcome, Evan. Happy to be able to help you out. Yes, you definitely do, and that's your fault for getting that major. No, I'm just joking. But yeah, I mean, it's it's kind of part of the gig. Like I remember when I was taking becoming a math teacher, I was like, all right, yeah, that's what I need to do, right? It's like you gotta know, right? You can't fake it anymore. And that was one of my partings, in my journey of mathematics. It was just trying to like getting by, right? Well, if you're becoming a math teacher, you get into a math major, you can't just get by. You have to know what you're doing. Well, happy to help you out, Aiden. I included you as one of my inspiration. Well, thank you. That's awesome. Happy to have been an inspiration for you. How do you know whether to use completing the square or quadratic formula? Your videos have helped. I will use the quadratic formula for most things. I don't know. I'm pretty quick with the quadratic formula. That's where I'd probably prefer it. I would probably say, I mean, there's not many times I really try to use, I'd prefer completing the square. I think maybe the only time I complete the square is maybe if I had a fraction for like B. So yeah, maybe if I was dealing with fractions personally, again, it doesn't matter. But personally, I would probably stick with the quadratic formula unless I had something with fractions. Then I'd probably use maybe the quadratic formula. I'd probably be a little bit easier for that. Definitely prefer whiteboards, and I miss my whiteboard. I actually have one right over there, but I don't really use it for that. Yes, I'll be getting to my questions here in just a couple minutes and just kind of get caught up on the chat. Just trying to check in again. If you have any questions, guys, in the comments, you guys can definitely go ahead and, in the live chat, definitely go ahead and post your questions in there, because I have questions that are already pre-submitted. Every live stream, I always answer the pre-submitted questions first, and then what we'll do is we'll go through any questions on there. So you can definitely go ahead and ask me questions. Obviously, I'm just going through the chat, saying hi to whoever I can. But as far as asking mathematical questions, I'm not going to be able to get to everybody's question, that goes into inside the chat. And also, it's very difficult because I have to read your question, I have to write down your question, it takes time. So it's always preferred if you guys can submit your questions, preferably pre-submit. And again, if I don't get to your question tonight, or if you need some more immediate feedback for next week, then please go to the Discord server, which is also a link is in the description for you guys can go. Or if you have questions on Algebra 2, you guys can also visit me this week if you go ahead and sign up for the link below from that. Ooh, post on there. Show up? No. Okay. All right, I'll get to this. Any advice how to get through pre-calc with a math disability? I mean, I've definitely worked with some students that have had some serious learning disabilities. I'm not sure like if they've been diagnosed with a math disability, but I've worked with some students there. I remember the guidance counselor was like, I'm so happy that you're able to like help that student. And basically what I was able to do, like I worked with them almost every single day. I held them to just as high standard. I didn't give them anything easier than anybody else, but I worked with them very intensely throughout the course. And there's a lot of students, I remember a student vividly. I remember he cried the first couple of times he got his test because he failed, and he like never failed before. And, but we worked through it. And, that student ended up doing great in my class. I ended up getting the A. He was one of those students that goes from like an F to an A. Like he just needed to learn how to do it. He had to get himself ready. Because, pre-calculus can be difficult and it can be hard kind of setting those skills. So I would recommend if it's not with your teacher, if it's not like with a tutor or with friends, but you got to find somebody that you can really, that's going to push you and, keep things kind of consistent for you to work on. Because, sometimes when it gets tough, it might just be easy to kind of give up, but I think you can definitely do it. And you also want to have somebody there to help you as another frame of reference. So I don't know, again, it could be your professor, it could be your teacher, another tutor, friends, whatever may be the case. But I think going through a course by yourself with a disability or just as a struggling student can be so difficult and so easy to not do what you need to do or not go above and beyond. And so that's why I think always doing it with somebody else or having someone else to kind of help you and push you to ask questions and just help make study is going to be so important. So hopefully that helped. You're very welcome. Congrats on YouTube. Well, thank you, Chrissy, again for the super chat. What do you do for fun that's not math on YouTube? Well, I don't really have a lot of time, obviously, because besides YouTube and doing everything I do there, obviously I have 3 daughters, so I spend a lot of time with them. But I would say if there's anything else, then I would say as far as my time to go, I do enjoy playing rugby, or at least going to my rugby games as far as like my social club and everything like that. So that is something I still do enjoy. As far as so I was active, I played sports when I was in high school and I, sports after. And then also I also love to like be in the water. So water ski, and I like to water ski. I like to snow ski. Those are definitely things that I enjoy, kind of all sports related. I was pretty, active. And then also I work out, try to like stay active as much as best I can, because my body through playing rugby kind of goes through, I would say, the freezes up zone. So if I'm not staying active or I'm not constantly working out or doing something, then I get very, very tight and walk like I've been playing in the NFL for 40 years. So I'd probably say those things. And then obviously with the family and YouTube takes a majority of my time. And then obviously relax, watch some TV whenever I can, or just I also just like to just watch YouTube, from stuff like that. So cool. All right, I got to get caught up because I got to get to some math. Well, thank you. Awesome. I'm so happy that could help. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. I have a test on polynomial functions. I mean, my advice is to find the zeros, find the multiplicity, find the y-intercept, right? I mean, those are your main things you need to find. So usually factoring is going to be something really important. Make sure the multiplicity is usually going to be a big one. So I would just make sure you're going through all those. I'm not sure if you're asking me or anybody else, but I just love, the more I've learned math, the more I enjoy it. The more I've learned math, the more I want to learn more of it. So that's definitely something for me. Thank you. All right. I do have an AP calculus textbook. I have a couple from just throughout the years. Teachers retire and like you absorb extra teacher books and stuff like that. So, actually, it's not like an AP calculus. It is like AP style, I guess, whatever. So that's them. Yes, I grew up next to Cedar Point in Ohio, and we used to go to roller coasters all the time. So yes, I love roller coasters, but I haven't been back to Cedar Point or like a really, really good roller coaster in a really long time. Whoa, look at Jay coming in here. I need some help right now. I can't do it. A math problem, help. Well, I am actually going to get into my math videos, or I'm sorry, the math problems that were submitted. So two options for you. One, you can go and submit to the link that is in the chat, and I will try to see what I can do. The second thing that you can do is also go to the Discord link, which is in the description, and then hopefully there is a tutor or some other students that are available and able to help you on that. Like right now, because I'm not able to always help right now. But I could try my best. I'm just mad because like in the back of my head, I'm thinking of why is my website... It happened again and actually... It's so annoying. All right. What am I trying to look for? I have no idea what I'm trying to look for. What was I doing? I don't know what I was doing. Okay. I don't know what I was doing. Okay. I'm like doing something. So let's go ahead and change this over. And then I'll get to some questions for you guys. Oh yeah, I was going to let you guys know. Yeah, just to remember also at the end, after I'm done through the math questions, then remember guys, I'm doing a giveaway. So go into last week's live stream and then just go ahead and type in math help, hashtag math help, please. So don't do it here, but hashtag math help. Go ahead and do that in last week's live stream, and I'm gonna go and pick a student to earn some free tutoring from there. I've never been to Kings Island, also in Ohio. I know my Cedar Point. Yeah, I've heard about it, but I've never been there. All right, let's get back. Okay. What was I trying to do? I don't know what I was trying to do. Okay. Oh, actually, what am I doing? Was this week? This is a brand new. Oh, I gotta change these over. This is my third year of working on these things. All right, so we'll do this right now, and then we'll go from there. Okay. No, why do you guys, Xavier? Make sure, no. Go on last week's live stream and type in the comments, not on the live chat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, now it is time. Oh, that's what I was going to do. I was going to turn this on to subscribers. So sorry, if you're not subscribed, you're going to have to subscribe to comment because I just don't have time to moderate all the chat. And obviously there's moderators that are in on the chat, but it's, I just want to make sure that we all have enough time to go ahead and check on everything. So I'm going to turn this on to subscribers only because you should be subscribed anyways, right? Please. Greatly appreciate it. And then we'll go from there. And then my goal is one day to have so many YouTube members that I can just turn on YouTube member chat and it would be like this, how it is right now, right? Because that's what it's affording and helping me to be able to do the giveaway. So thank you so much for YouTube members for that. All right. So I'm actually, where's my... I might lose this. My brain is all messed up because that stupid thing. Sorry, I just gotta find... Oh, because I moved it over that screen. No wonder. All right, I'm going to turn off the... So anyways, guys, if you want to go and check, the link is in the description. So go ahead and check that out. All right, now let's go and get on to some math. All right, so now I got that going. Cool. And Garrett, no, I do not have an algebra course. I do have some courses on Udemy for regarding algebra, but I am working through getting into some more content for right now. All right. Oh yeah, I gotta go. Okay, whatever. Sweet. All right. So, express your answers on an interval 0 to 2 pi. So, I guess I'll do both these. I don't know. Oh crap! Did I check the how big my pen was? Yeah, that's not gonna work. There you go. Yes. All right. So in this one, we have the cosine, and I'll see if I can be able to do both of these. Sine of x equals 0. So basically, the main idea that I want to do is, one, I want to always solve these unless I can factor them. I want to put these in the same, I want to put them in the same trigonometric function. So I know the double angle formula, and I remember it, but I had to double check it. The cosine of 2x, that's going to be 1 minus a 2 sine squared of x. So please double check my work, or if I get it wrong, just let me know in the chat. So I will go ahead and check. And now you guys can see that this is in our quadratic form. So 2 sine of x minus a sine of x plus 1. Well, and that's equal to 0. So now you can factor out the negative, because again, the negative's not really going to, the negative's not going to change the answer, right? All it's doing is like reflecting the graph across. So it's not going to change the zeros. So if I factor out a negative, that's going to leave me with a positive 2 sine of x plus a sine of x minus 1. Okay, so you can divide out this negative 1, like it doesn't really do anything. And then now what we want to do is we can use, sorry, that's a squared. Now we want to see if we can factor this. And this does look factorable for a 2 sine of x. Let's see from there. And then this would be a sine of x. Looks like, yeah, I'll set you up for the next one. But I'll be able to do both. And then let's see, we need to add that one. So that needs to be plus 1. And then this needs to be minus 1. Okay, so we have a 2 sine of x minus 1 equals 0. And then a sine of x plus 1 equals 0. All right, so now I could add 1 divided by 2, right? So I have a sine of x equals 1/2. And then here I can just subtract a 1. So sine of x equals negative 1. And now we just need to be able to find the intervals on 0 to 2 pi, right? So we got to know the unit circle. And we talked about this on the pre-calculus live stream last week. All right, so when is the y coordinate? So when we have a point on the unit circle, the sine of what angle is equal to negative 1. So basically, when is the y value going to be negative 1? That's going to be down here, okay? And then when is sine of x equal to 1/2? Well, that's going to be when it's positive 1/2, right? So it's going to be these two angles. And this angle is pi over 6, right? So then this one is pi over 6 short of pi, which would be 5 pi over 6. So your solutions is going to be a pi over 6, 5 pi over 6, and 3 pi over 2. And I go live every Sunday night at 9 p.m. Oh, thanks, Addie. Cheers. The next one is tangent squared of x plus square root 3 tangent of x. So this one, I don't have enough space. I'm a little tight. So let's go ahead and write this. Come on. All right, so that one's going to be a tangent square root of x plus a square root of 3 tangent of x equals 0. All right, so what you can do here is to recognize that we have a tangent in both these expressions. So I can factor that out. That's going to leave me with a tangent of x times a tangent of x plus the square root of 3 equals 0. All right, now apply the zero product property. So tangent of x equals 0. And then tangent of x plus square root of 3 equals 0. So, and then that's going to be, subtract the square root of 3. So tangent of x equals a negative square root of 3. Okay, so when is tangent equal to 0? So let's kind of go through these points here. So this point is 1, 0. So the y coordinate over the x coordinate is going to be obviously 0. So that's going to give me two values, which are at 0 and this point, which is at pi. That's all within the interval of 0 to 2 pi, right? 0 is included. And then this point was, let's see what this was. This was square root of 3 over 2 divided by 1/2. So remember, tangent is y coordinate over the x coordinate. And if you take 1/2 divided by the square root of 3 over 2, that's not going to equal a negative square root of 3, or that's not going to equal a square root of 3, but that will be, this point would equal that. So if you go ahead and rewrite this 1/2 as square root of 3 over 2, that would simplify down to square root of 3. But we need the negative, right? And remember, negative tangent is going to be 1. These are all positive. So for tangent to be negative, one has to be positive, one has to be negative. So that means we're going to look down here and we're going to look down here. So if this is pi over 3, then this one's going to be a 2 pi over 3. So we have a 2 pi over 3. And then this angle is going to be pi over 3 short of 6 pi over 3, which would be a 5 pi over 3. So hopefully that was helpful for you. All right, next question is on bearing. So a ship leaves port and sails east at 20 knots. All right, so basically just whenever you get a bearing, what I always like to tell students is go ahead and create your cardinal directions here. So we have north, east, south, west. All right. So a ship leaves port and sails east at 20 knots for 4 hours. So here's port, right? So let's label it. There's port. Here's the ship. So you're going this way. Okay. And you're going 4 hours. So for 20 knots. So therefore you could say what? For 80 nautical miles. And then heads north 32 degrees east. So now we have a new cardinal direction, right? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to say, all right, so now we're going to make a turn. Okay, so here's the turn. And that's going to be what? 20 times 4. Okay, and then it's going to be a north 32 degrees east. And for you guys, I think it'll look like that. So that's going to look like that. Right? Because that's north and that's east and that's south. And now that would be west, right? But we're not going to, obviously west is already written in there. So go over there and then you do that for what? 16 times 2, which is going to be a 32, right? Which is 16 times 2. Okay. So now once you kind of have the general idea, now what we want to do is kind of redraw this as a triangle. Because basically what we have is this. Because they're asking two questions. One, they're asking what is the bearing from port to the ship. So the ship's right here, right? So they want to find out what the bearing is. So let's say they're doing north, whatever, east. So we need to be able to figure out. So a couple things we need to do. One is we need to be able to figure out this angle, theta. And we need to figure out this angle. Let's call that alpha. So a couple things we have here. If that's 32 degrees, then we know that is going to be 90 degrees. That's the cool thing about having your cardinal directions is, you can add all those up. So therefore, this angle is going to be 122 degrees. Now, if this is 80 and this is 32, well, we have a side angle side. And we have side angle side. That means we can go ahead and use now the law of cosines. So let's go ahead and call this the turn, t. All right, so let's see if I can remember the law of cosines. So t squared equals, let's say, p squared. No, not p squared. What am I doing? Yeah, that'd be s. Okay, that's from, p squared plus s squared. This is kind of looking weird. So that's little t. This would be little s, and that's little p. Okay, so kind of weird. But this is going to be your opposing side length. So that's going to be p squared plus s squared minus a 2ps times the cosine of t. Can you guys see it? Yeah, cool. All right, so we have t squared equals p squared, which is a 32 squared, plus s squared, which is a 80 squared. And please let me know, guys, if I got this wrong, or if I didn't remember them correctly. So that's a 2. Okay. So why am I solving? Yeah, that's the only thing I'm going to be able to solve, right? Because then you can go ahead and use, yeah, I need to be able to solve that t. All right, so then 2 times p, which is a 32, times a s, which is an 80, times a cosine of 122 degrees. All right, so then once you go ahead and solve for t, I'm just going to have to leave it on this because we have quite a few other questions and it's already late. So go ahead and find t, and then you can just use, again, the law of cosines to be able to find your p or t. But I always hate leaving students like this because I think one of the, well, actually, I think on your picture you were off run there. So the main thing I want you to be able to understand here, actually, let me get to this, actually. No. I shouldn't do this. No. Oops. Wrong way. Come on. All right. Sorry about that, guys. I was trying to fix something. Where am I trying to go? Where's the zoom to fit? Why is it not going to my zoom fit? Oh, zoom to 100? I don't know what's going on. Nope. It's like my thing got really all messed up. All right, well, we'll go from there. But anyways, my point that I was trying to bring in is, so when you're trying to find your bearing, a couple things. So the bearing here, so question number, how far are you? That's going to be t, actually. So answer A is what t equals, okay? Answer B is going to be this angle right here, okay? So what I was trying to say was, hey, this is P, right? Let's call that theta, okay? So answer B is just going to be what theta is. So again, just use law of cosines again to be able to get that. And thank you so much, Evan. Keep up the great work. And subject name, keep up the great work. Subject name, I'm not sure what this subject you typically, this is going to be like in pre-calculus or trigonometry class. And then for C, so C kind of gets a little difficult because if we want to find the bearing for C, what you're basically going to do is you need to be able to find alpha, right, which is going to be this angle. And then what you can do is from here to here, we know these are going to be parallel lines. So that is also equal to 122 degrees. Okay. So what you're going to have is this angle, and let's call that, that's going to be 90 really. So what it's going to be is, so it's going to be alpha plus 122 degrees plus 90 degrees, right? So because that's 90 degrees right there. This is 122 degrees. How do I know this is 122 degrees? Because these are alternate interior angles, right? These are parallel lines right here. These northeast, southwest, these northeast lines, I'm sorry, these east-west lines, they're perpendicular lines. And this is your transversal. So that's why I know that's going to be 122. And then you just got to find alpha using law of sines or law of cosines. So hopefully that was helpful for you. This problem says, which of the following two triangles are right triangles? Well, that looks like a Pythagorean triple. But again, you can always check your work here, right? You can say 5 squared plus 12 squared equals a 13 squared. Right? So that's 25 plus a 144 equals a 169. And you can see how 169 equals a 169. That works. Let's go and check the next one. So 1 squared plus 3 squared equals a square root of 10 squared. So that's going to be 1 plus 9 equals 10. 10 equals 10. So looks like they are both right triangles. And then to find y, again, I should probably go through. This is actually a little bit confusing. I don't like how they didn't give you the, oh, we actually don't know if they're right triangles, right? Good point. But we're going to go by the assumed right triangle. as this would be the right angle, and therefore that is the hypotenuse, right? The hypotenuse is always directly across from the 90-degree angle, and then these are going to be your two legs. The two angles that make up your 90-degree are going to be your legs. So I always like to think, like everybody remembers, oh, a squared plus b squared equals c squared, right? Yes, but then once we use different variables, people get confused. So I always like to think about it as leg squared plus leg squared equals the hypotenuse squared. Okay, so there's our hypotenuse. These are our two legs. Y squared plus 8 squared equals 2 square root of 17 squared, right? So we have a y squared plus 64 equals, and then this is technically a 2 square root of 17 times a 2 square root of 17. Okay, so square root of 17 times square root of 17 is going to be square root of 17 squared, which is just 17. 2 times 2 is 4. 4 times 17, that's going to be 34. That's going to be 68. So we have a y squared plus 64 equals a 68. Subtract the 64. Y squared equals 4. Square root. Y equals plus or minus 2. But again, this is a triangle, right? It doesn't make sense right now for us to have a negative side length. So our final answer is just going to be y equals 2. As I go through that. All right, and we got a couple questions. All right, the next one, I'm actually going to expand on that a little bit bigger. Hello, Matthew. Oh, poor leg. I don't know why I clicked on that. Hope your leg's doing fine. Whoever has two legs or needs legs. Why is it? Come on. All right. So this one is a solving. Yeah, it's on. So liquid is cooling such as the temperature can be modeled by the function, where the output is Fahrenheit and M represents the minutes the liquid has been cooling. Which of the following is the closest to the amount of time it will take for the temperature to reach 90 degrees? All right. So we want which of the following? So M represents minutes, so that's time, okay. And output is Fahrenheit. Okay, so basically what I'm going to do is I have F of M is equal to 112 E raised to the negative 0.058 M plus 64. Okay, so we want the output to be 90, right? So we're going to write 90 degrees equals 12 E to negative 0.058 M plus 64. Okay, so now basically all we want to do is isolate this E. Okay, and we're going to do that by using our inverse operations. And we're going to use the reverse order of operations here. So what we're going to do is subtract first, and then we're going to divide by 112. And I do not know what 2652, no, 26 divided by 112. All right, that's going to be some crazy number, but that's okay. I'm just going to leave that as, I'm going to use my calculator here. So I'm going to have a 26 over 112 is equal to a E. Let me actually give it a little more space. E to negative 0.058 M. All right, we want to solve for M. So what we need to do to get these off of our power is with the base E's, we can just take the natural log on both sides. All right, and then when we take the natural log of both sides, that's going to get rid of E. This is some decimal value, so I'm not going to write it in there. 26 divided by 112, and that's going to equal now a negative 0.058 M. So then I'll just solve by dividing a negative 0.058 on both sides, and my final answer is M equals a ln of 26 over 112 divided by a negative 0.058. So let's go and see what that is. ln of 26 divided by 112 divided by negative 0.058. And I get a 25.179. Well, that looks like answer 1. Next one is an identity. Ooh, if I can remember my sum and difference, I think I can. So whenever I see the sum and difference formulas, just go ahead and apply them, right? So this is cosine of alpha, cosine of beta, minus sine of alpha, sine of beta plus cosine of alpha cosine of beta plus sine of alpha sine of beta, right? And that has to equal this all on the right side. Now, typically something's going to divide out, which it is, right? And then you can send these are the exact same term, just there's two of them. So 2 cosine of alpha cosine of beta is equal to the right-hand side. Hey, Tyler, no, I do not do anything with statistics, unfortunately. But at the Discord, there's definitely, you can definitely ask questions on there for AP statistics, but I don't have anything. I never taught statistics, so it's not my strong suit. All right, and then the last one here is I have solve this quadratic, which actually, I don't even know. They said there was a quadratic, but it's not going to be. I think the main thing you're going to want to do here is, or at least we'll start off, I'm not going to be, come on, not that. So x plus 2 over x times an x plus a 2 over x, multiply them. Let's distribute this here. So that's going to be that's going to be minus a 6x, and then minus a 12 over x plus 9 equals 0. Right? So then this is going to give me a x squared plus 2 plus 2, and then that's going to be, what the heck? So it's going to be x plus 2 plus 2. That's so weird. I've never seen. Okay, and then this times this. Oh, that's going to be, never mind. So those times 2 is going to be a plus a 4 over an x squared minus 6x. Can't combine anything. Minus over a 12x. Then plus 9 equals 0. Now, you can multiply everything by an x squared, but then you're going to have to be careful with your extraneous solutions. So, I mean, I guess you can look at it. I guess we'll go and see. I know I would want to go and actually spend more time looking at that. That's me 4, that's me 13. So x squared plus let's say minus a 6x. Let's say 4, so that's going to be plus 13. And then minus a 12 over x. Let's say 4 over an x squared. Actually, I actually like to look into this a little bit more before actually going to solve. For some reason, I did some math in my head before I took this one, but I'm not 100% confident on that's the best way to tackle that problem. So I'm going to leave it at that, because you could multiply and solve, but I don't want to, but then I don't want to know, I want to make sure I'm not leaving off some solutions. Obviously you can create some extraneous solutions, so you got to be careful with that. But I'm not sure if that's 100%. I'd actually want to look up that a little bit more before I solve that. But hopefully that kind of at least gives you some ideas, or at least checks some of your work from on there. All right, let's go ahead and check. So just a reminder, guys, just a reminder, guys, that I also giving a giveaway here at the end, which are already over 10 o'clock. So let's see how many questions have been submitted. Of course, you guys get any questions. So let's go and see what we can answer real quick. And again, guys, if I'm not able to get to your question, then please, please, please go ahead and head over, check out the Discord if you have not already been to. It is an amazing community where people are able to help you guys out. And I always recommend, guys, ask a question, help somebody out with a question. There's definitely multiple channels for definitely different types of math that you can need, that you can get help on. And also just other places for you guys to connect and ask questions and get share resources and everything like that. So if you haven't been over there, I'd highly recommend go ahead and check it out. I'm going to pop the link here, and then just so Addie always has it and she can always join it on from there. All right. And then I'll see what other extra questions I can get from you guys. And I know Ronnie asked a lot of questions. I told you to submit it, so I'll try to do my best. It all depends on how much time I can get through from everything. And some people have quizzes tomorrow, so got to go from there. But I'll try to answer some questions. I'm not going to take any more questions in from the chat, but I'll try to do my best here from you guys. All right. This is a good question. Graph it. Ugh. All right, I'll do that question for you, Sophia. And there's two of them, but I'll just do the one. Let's kind of solve all the questions of the problem. I'm kind of scared now opening up this document from you guys. Yes, I'd definitely say Algebra 2 uses concepts from geometry and algebra. I mean, not so much, not a lot from geometry, but definitely from some of them. No, I'm not going to do all these questions. I don't have time for this. Does it move? I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't really do a lot of word problems. And I decided to do that one because I'm bearings, because I get a lot of questions on bearings. But I'm sorry, guys. If you post word problems, they're most likely not going to get done. They just take way too long. And it's late. It's past 10 o'clock. But I will try to do as many as I can from the banana aider. So I think that was factorable, right? Yeah, we'll go and do that one for you. Thank you for, you typed that in the chat. And then thank you for putting in there. I'll go and get to that question. And then how about this? Once I go and get these questions done, then we'll do our giveaway. And then I'll go through these questions. Hopefully that sounds good to everybody. Come on. Only a couple more questions. And again, guys, if you are wondering, like, giveaway, what do you mean giveaway? I just showed up on the live stream. So so to enter the giveaway, just go to last week's live stream, which was on Sunday night, 9 p.m. and go ahead and type in #mathhelp into the comments of that video. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take all the responses from there, and I am going to select a winner from there to go ahead and get a free tutoring session. Let's see what I can get for you guys. Well, good. I'm so happy to help you out on this. Yeah, I'm not sure if I'm gonna be able to help on the math test, but you can definitely maybe check on the Discord, see what you have here. T 10 to 1. You need more equations for that, so I'll move on from that. Don't know how these problems or the radicands mean. All right. See what else you guys have for me. How much is that? Yeah, it shouldn't take too long. All right. Oh, God, you guys always had more questions, but I'll get to you. I thought it was always annoying when I'd always do my live stream, then people would get on the live and they're like, oh, do this question. And then I was like, I can never do those for you guys. So this is where I'm kind of happy to kind of do at least as many as I can. How many bonus questions am I doing? I like to usually try to do 5. Oh, well, in that case, all right, let's just do the whole test. No, my only question is I'm just very limited on time. So I usually like to get these live streams already done by 10, and you guys can see we're already done. Alrighty thing. Hey, dude, can you just help me out with anything on this page? See what I can do. I mean, there's a lot. Yep, that's good. Here, I'll do a division problem. Usually students don't like division. All right. Rona, I'm not seeing any of your questions. I'm not sure. I know you're talking a lot with triangles, so I'm not sure if that was anything on there. But again, hold your... Did I not take the last live stream? Oh, what am I doing? All right, let's see the last question. Last question I have. That's going to take me longer. I'll have to... I'm pretty sure I'm not going to be able to do this on time. Last question I have. Yeah, I'd have to look at the problem. That's going to take... Not all these problems, guys, I can be able to do in my head or know exactly what I'm able to do. And again, basically my quick analysis of when I'm looking at a problem to be able to add it to the live stream. One, it's got to be like short, like not these like very, very difficult long word problems, or just in any problem that's going to take for a really, really long time to solve, that's not really going to be conducive. I don't know why I won't do, I want to just move this so you guys can see me. Those are usually not going to be very good for to do on the live stream, because it's just going to take forever of me just doing a math problem. And then also, if I don't feel like my explanation is going to be like is on point with you guys, then I don't want to do, I don't want to just do a math problem and try to help you. Like, I want to make sure I can do a math problem that's going to help you and I can give you a good explanation. And if it's something that I haven't covered in a while, or something that I would just need to like verify and double check, that's a lot of times why I won't cover the problem, or I won't do the problem. Just because I want to make sure that obviously I can help you guys out. So that is where Discord has come in. So for those of you guys that have not been to Discord, I would highly recommend checking that out. Otherwise, guys, I am going to do a little giveaway. Again, a free tutoring session with myself for you to take advantage of if you are the winner. So to enter into this contest, all you simply need to do is to go ahead and go to last week's live stream and type in hashtag math help. All right. And we will, I will type in I need this link anyways. So I don't know why I was doing it. So I will actually post the link in here right now. There's only 4 students that did it last week. So, I mean, crap. If you were just like, no. Sorry, not math test. Type in math help. Jeez. But if you guys go to that link, then you guys can definitely go ahead and check it out. All right. Why is this not? Come on. Let me see if I can pull in. No. Go from there. All right, whatever. I'll pull this up. That's fine. Let's get into, I'll just pull up the link. It's all right. It's taking a long time, but all right. So there you go. I knew it was going to. There you go. Perfect. I knew it was in. There you go. Okay. All right. So here is last live stream, which I typed in the chat. And yes, I type in the chat, right? Or play rugby and football, baseball, wrestling, all lovely sports. Okay. So this is last week's live stream. So again, last week's live stream, go in there. And then, nope, we're going to use a keyword filter. Anybody that typed in hashtag math help. Okay. And again, guys, FYI, I am planning on doing this for the next couple of live streams. So if you just want to get a head start on it, like I said, there's only 4 people that did it. Let's see how many people did it this week. Come on, loading comments. How many people did this? Play. Ooh, 16. Oh, only 6 comments. Only 6 comments went to last week's live stream and went and typed in 6. Math help. Guys, you guys are, look at this. Winner, winner. Let's see who we have. Da-da. Rasmus, you are the winner. You Rasmus A, you got it. Really, congratulations on that. All you need to simply do is go ahead and reach out to me either on Discord or on Instagram at Brian McLogan, and then I will give you all the details and we will connect. So definitely looking forward to this week. And again, congratulations. We will so let me go and knock out the rest of these math problems. So again, make sure you reach out to me because I'm not going to reach out to you for on there. So again, later time. Sorry, guys, if you didn't win, you guys can go ahead and definitely check that out for next week, though, as well. All right, let me get into intervals. Why are you doing that? It's so weird. Okay. All right, let's finish off the math. You guys are making me stay up late. and go through. So again, guys, any other questions? Hey, you're on. All right, congrats. So yeah, just go and reach out to me, Discord or on Instagram, and I'll get you all the details you need. So, anyways, what was I say? Yeah. So, anyways, any other questions, guys? I'm just going to cover with what I have left, and then you guys can obviously go ahead and submit your questions either on Discord or for next week. And then, all right. So in this case, what we have here is a 18 minus a 3y equals a 2x, right? Okay. So basically, the first thing, if I want to solve, I typically want to solve this in slope-intercept form. So I want to rewrite this as a y equals a mx plus b. Now, you could use the intercept method, but I'm going to just try to focus on sticking with this method as the easiest method. So basically what I do is isolate my y. So I want to do everything I can to undo what's being applied to the y. So the first thing you always want to undo is addition or subtraction. So therefore, I'm left with a negative 3y equals a 2x minus an 18. And then I'll undo multiplying by negative 3. So I'll divide by negative 3. And I get y equals a negative 2/3. I'll write the negative in front, not in the top or the bottom. And then that's going to be a plus or 2x plus 6. Okay. Now this negative 2/3 is really important because you can write it as like this. You could do a negative 2 over 3. You can do a 2 over negative 3, but you cannot do a negative 2 over a negative 3. Okay. So basically, remember the 6 is going to be the y-intercept. So you're going to go up 6 units. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, and then you just got to pick. Do you want this one or do you want that one? Do you want to go down 2 and then to the right 3? Or do you want to go up 2 and to the left 3? Right? You just have to pick. But you guys can see if I connect these, they're going to be all on the same line. All right, and that's basically the idea. Set it in the slope-intercept form, find the y-intercept, and then use the slope to find the other 2 points. All right, so for this problem, basically what you want to do is kind of, I think the easiest way to look at this is to be what we call a grouping method, okay? Now, when we're dealing with the grouping method, when you have a negative between these two terms, it's really important to kind of factor this out. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite this as a 14x cubed plus a 7x squared, and I'm going to factor that out to be a minus 2x plus 1, okay? So now, basically what I want to do is I want to see if I can factor anything out that's going to equal a 2x plus 1. And you could say, yeah, you can factor out a 7x squared. So factor out a 7x squared, that's going to leave me with a 2x plus 1 minus a 2x plus 1. Okay, now these are both the same. The terms, these expressions are separated by subtraction, so I can factor that out. So it's a 2x plus 1 times a 7x. And then this would be a minus 1 if you were to factor that. And again, you can always check your work. Like take this whole expression and then multiply it back out to both of those, and you get this exact same solution here. Again, sorry, this is all equal to 0. Okay, now you can apply the 0 product. 2x plus 1 equals 0. And crap, what was that? 7x squared. And then a 7x squared minus 1 equals 0. All right, so then use your inverse operations. X equals a negative 1/2. And then here, use your inverse operations. X squared equals a 1/7. And then you would introduce the square root. So you could say x equals plus or minus, let's say the 1 over square root of 7, which you could rewrite as a plus or minus the square root of 7 over 7. All right, in this example, basically you just want to go ahead and use FOIL. Whenever you have a number in front, you're just going to multiply them. So you multiply your radicands, right? And then whatever number is front, that's what you're going to multiply as well. Just like if I had a 3x times a 7x, right? Well, you multiply your numbers and then you multiply your variables, right? So that's a 21x squared. Same kind of idea with the radicals. So let's just go ahead and do FOIL. So I have a 1 times 5, which is 5. 1 times negative 2 square root of 2, which is going to be a negative 2 square root of 6, square root of 6. And then over here, negative 3 square root of 6. Now, again, in this case, it's kind of the same thing. If I had a 5 times 3x, well, again, you just multiply the numbers, right? That's a 15x. So that's all I'm going to do here. So that's going to be a negative 15 square root of 6. And then the last one is going to be here. So again, multiply your numbers, multiply your radicands. So that's going to be a positive 6. And the square root of 6 times square root of 6 is the square root of 6 squared, which is just going to be a 6. All right, so now these are like terms, so we can combine these, and these are going to be like terms. So let's see what I have here. So it's 5, so 36. So 5 plus a 36, which is what, 41. And then this is going to be, again, you can just subtract your two terms. So it's a minus a 17 square root of 6. And that's going to be what? 41 minus 17 square root of 6. Yes, thank you for catching on me. All right, and the last question is actually, we don't really need to use this for long division or synthetic division because remember, like whenever you have, so remember this, if I had like 1/5 plus 2/5, right? All we're simply doing is, since we have a common denominator, we're just rewriting this as a 3/5. Or I'm sorry, let me write it this way. You can just rewrite this as a 1 plus 2 over 5, right? Which is equal to a 3/5. Agreed? Now, again, what's important about this is you can actually work backwards as well. If I have these terms separated by addition or subtraction, divide by 5, I can distribute this all from. So therefore, what I can do is I can rewrite this as a 25x cubed divided by 5x minus a 10x squared divided by 5x plus a 5x divided by 5x. Okay, now these all divide in. So therefore, that's a 5x squared minus a 2x plus 1. And there you go. All right, guys. Very happy. Thank you, Ada. I'm so happy I got your question. But there you go, ladies and gentlemen. So definitely, again, if you showed up late and you are wondering what I have been talking about for as far as the live stream, if you're in Algebra 2 and would like to join my live stream, then go ahead and check the link up above. Feel free to go and join, guys. It's absolutely free, and I look forward to helping you guys out with your questions. The next thing that I can say is also, if you have not checked out the Discord, it's in the description. Go ahead and check that out. And I look forward to answering your questions, guys, next week. So thank you so very much, guys, for joining me, and I will see you next week. Cheers. Have a great week.